They were talking about overthrowing Western civilization. They were talking about overthrowing the United States of America. You import people like this? You're not required to keep them here. He misled our country on his student visa application. Now he's a green card holder. He ratchets it up a little bit, and now he's been exposed. Let's start with the usual at MSLSD, which is the defense of the enemy. They're very good at it there. I thought I read somewhere that Comcast was going to spin off MSLSD. Remember that, Mr. Producer? Mm-hmm. Well, what's taking so long? They should have spun it off a long time ago. I can think of a few places where it would work. Maybe Al Jazeera could buy it. Maybe Pravda. Maybe whatever the communist Chinese use, or Cuba. I think it would work very well over there. Certainly not here. It's really disgusting. But let's take a look. So they try to claim here that deporting this Hamas supporter is authoritarian logic. Now understand, this guy Khalil, we've learned a lot more from him this weekend since we had one of the lawyers bringing a civil suit against Khalil and his organization. They have direct communications in writing, in a letter, where the Iranian regime is thanking their group for their activities. They have information that was directly in the possession of Khalil and his group from Hamas. They have incredible information about their social sites and how they were changed right before the attack, as if they knew something was going to go on. And so they point out these connections to terrorism are real, they're substantive, they're recent, they're ongoing, and that's the Khalil that we know. So let's check this out and see how MSLSD covers this up. Go.
So regardless of where you fall on the Gaza question, this is really concerning just generally for the rule of law. This is someone who is exercising First Amendment rights. And
so stop. Someone who's exercising First Amendment rights. So they're turning this guy, this terrorist-supporting non-student who's been in the United States 2 years, he's on a green card. They're trying to turn this into a First Amendment issue and trying to turn him into some kind of a victim. It's sickening beyond belief that American media, I don't care if it's MSNBC or whomever it is, allows this kind of propaganda to take place and in fact promotes this kind of propaganda. This is one of the lawyers. He's got like a phalanx of lawyers. How does he pay for that? Well, we know how he pays for it. It's not coming out of his pocket. I doubt that very much. So we have organizations, we have lawyers, we have judges, we have media, all aligned with the enemy. And so when this guy's targeted, when the Secretary of State says, and he has wide latitude, it's not just him, all secretaries of state, to say this guy is a danger to our country, he's undermining our national security and our foreign policy, I order him out, which is the way it works. He's got notice, he's got lawyers, he's got due process. Now it's a violation of the First Amendment. Is that what's going on these campuses, America? Or is it violence? Or is it chasing Jews? Or is it shutting down the Hillel chapters? Or is it desecrating these colleges and these universities? We're not deaf, dumb, and blind. We see this. And so they tried to constitutionalize this terrorism or this support for terrorism. Don't allow them to constitutionalize it. This has nothing to do with the First Amendment. If this jerk had written some article or made some speech on a soapbox, he'd be just like 1,000 other jerks. But that's not what's going on. And remember one other thing. When you're here on some immigration status, you're a guest in the United States of America. And much of the material that was shown to me and the world on Fox by this gentleman, one of the lawyers who's brought a civil suit against Khalil and his organization, representing, among others, former hostages and hostage families, he was showing us evidence. And he said, this isn't even a hard case. We haven't even gotten the depositions yet. Look at this, and look at this, and look at this. Their DNA and their fingerprints are everywhere. So if you're a guest in the United States, and by the way, they were talking about overthrowing Western civilization. They were talking about overthrowing the United States of America. You import people like this? You're not required to keep them here. He misled our country on his student visa application. Now he's a green card holder. He ratchets it up a little bit, but not completely. And now he's been exposed. He's been exposed. He's been here 2 years. You can thank Biden and his administration for bringing people like this in. And this isn't the only one. There's hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of these people here. Go.
And hasn't had an opportunity to exercise his due process rights to...
Of course he has a right to exercise his rights. He's in court. He's in court right now, exercising his rights. Go ahead.
Challenge his deportation, his detention. What does this mean for ordinary citizens, lawful green card holders, and all
Just listen to what does it mean for ordinary citizens? Is that what ordinary citizens do? They conspire with terrorists and terrorist regimes? Is that what ordinary citizens do? They talk about the overthrow of the United States and the West? Is that what ordinary citizens do? They run on college campuses, or they help provoke riotous, violent behavior against other human beings? No, I don't think so. She is grotesque. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, under the government's pretty chilling authoritarian logic, one could be arrested, detained, and deported if you're not a U.S. citizen simply because you disagree with the foreign policy objectives of the United States.
That's not correct. Who? Simply because you disagree with them? Let me just repeat something else. You're here as a guest. You came here on a student visa, then be a student. You came here on a work visa, then work. You came here on an entertainment visa to work at the circus, then do it. If you come here on a student visa and then all of a sudden you're a protester pushing and promoting riotous behavior on behalf of an enemy, I'm sorry, that's not protected. This is immigration we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Immigration. We're not talking about United States citizens. So when she says or he says, imagine an American citizen who says, no, you don't have to imagine American citizens who says any of these things. Because he's not an American citizen. Makes a big difference. Go.
And as Mahmoud suggested, that is not in no way limited to Palestine. That's just the tip of the spear. But it's a power they want to claim to go after other activists as well, and they will.
First of all, they will if they've crossed the line like this, Khalil, like that thug, Khalil. But that's not the point either. They had the goods on Khalil. It's going to be a fairly easy case. We'll see what this judge does. But it is actually a very, very simple case. It's an open and shut case.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.